Okay, what's going on, guys? And welcome to a brand new episode of Energized. Roscoe, the Champions League is back.
The Champions League is back in probably the strangest format we have ever seen. I suppose we didn't get the Euros this summer, so we've got the Champions League instead. A worthy replacement, one might say.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't start off with the show with the singing of the anthem of the Champions League.
Oh, I know, yeah. I've done it before, but I don't think I have it in the vocal range for me today, Baz. No, I don't think so. And also the sort of the ugly, step-headed child of the Champions League, the Europa League, is also back.
The Europa League is back. That's actually on
the competition no one wants to be in, but everyone wants to win.
Yeah, so on today's show, we are going to be going over the Champions League fixtures that are on this week, because next week on Wednesday, the Champions League quarterfinals happen. But the Europa League, we're going to be looking at that as well. So if you are new to the show, make sure to like and subscribe. Roscoe, so we'll start off with the Champions League. What game should we start off? Because the Champions League returns this Friday, the 7th. Juventus are taking on Lyon at 8 o'clock, and Man City are taking on Real Madrid at 8 o'clock as well. Two great fixtures.
Yeah, two really, really good fixtures. I think we'll start off with Man City versus Real Madrid. Man City are one of the favourites to win this entire tournament. I think they're a joint favourite with maybe Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
The funny thing about them is that they're coming up against Real Madrid. The team has won this competition far more times than anyone else. And also, they won the Liga this year, which is not something that Real Madrid have done a lot of recently. This Real Madrid team is pretty good.
Yeah, like going into this game, Man City are leading 2-1 in aggregate as well. So that's something that you should not forget.
Yeah, the only thing is I don't think Sergio Aguero is going to be back for this game. So that will definitely reduce their firepower.
Yeah.
And then in terms of Real Madrid, I can't believe that Real Madrid won the Liga without Cristiano Ronaldo. And then, with a very, very much so disgruntled Gareth Bale. Karim Benzema stood up and said, I'm the main man in this team. And he's been brilliant for them.
Yeah, they have changed the way they've played. They still have the trio in the midfield with Modric, Casemiro, and Kroos. But going into this game, they need a win. 1-0 is definitely enough. But they're without Sergio Ramos. So maybe it is slightly fair now that Aguero's out and Ramos is out. So the left everyone else is there to take over.
Yeah, I would strongly favour City for this tie, especially I'd favour City against any team in the world if they're going in with 2 away goals to 1 home goal. And also Pep Guardiola, he was brought into Man City not to win the Premier League. He was brought there to win the Champions League.
Yeah, like we were talking off air about this, that the winner of this game plays the winner of Juventus and Lyon. And I was like, what game would be better? Obviously, Juventus to either play Man City or Real Madrid. What would you rather see? So it's like Ronaldo against
De Bruyne or Vinicius.
No, it'd be like Ronaldo up against Sergio Ramos, or else Ronaldo up against Laporte. I think I'd rather see Juventus win and Real Madrid win, and then see Ronaldo take on his old club.
Yeah, well, I think that would be very, very interesting. All the times Ronaldo came back to Old Trafford with Real Madrid, it didn't end well for Manchester United. So he's good at coming back to haunting teams. The only thing is that, that's a tall glass of milk Juventus have to get by as well. Lyon pushed PSG the whole way to penalties in the cup final in France there. And, Memphis Depay is back from injury.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. He played the game against PSG. So that's definitely puts, a boost in morale and spirits for the Lyon team. And they're not just going to roll over for Juventus either. They didn't the first leg round. They got a 1-0 win. And at the end of the day, that Juventus team has to come out and show something, because towards the tail end of Serie A, they look very poor.
Yeah, I know.
Now, I know they rested Ronaldo and they sort of had already won the title, but you don't exactly want to be going into your last few games losing matches, you know what I mean?
Burning out. Well, because the league was wrapped up, maybe they took the foot off the gas. Look at the way Liverpool did it as well. But looking at both fixtures, I think Juventus will get the job done. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
But then, who are they going to play? Man City or Real Madrid? That is the question, man.
I think it will be Man City. I really would. I think Man City are more of a dead cert going through out of all four teams. Like I still think that Leon team will be very, very difficult to beat. Very difficult.
So you think Juventus is going to play Man City?
I think so, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Leon play Man City.
Jeez.
I think Leon have a better chance going through than Real Madrid.
See, that's the thing. I think Juventus will get through, okay? But like Leon, that's a good point you have there because Leon are away. So if Leon get one away goal, I think that means
Juventus have scored 3.
3, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Juventus will hold out. They haven't been as good at the back as I thought they would be. I mean, they got De Ligt, and he hasn't really set the world alight there. They have made some stupid defensive errors. But you see, the thing is, I do see Man City scoring against Real Madrid, but I think they have more going for them. So I think Man City will win that game 2-1 as well. And I think Juventus, I was going to say Juventus will win 2-1 as well, but that means Leon will go through.
You know what? The more I think about it, I actually think Leon are going to go through. You know that? Like, it's been a very, very strange year this year, and weird stuff has happened. And if any weird stuff's going to happen, maybe Leon go through.
So what results are you going for?
Oh, I agree with what you said. I think it'll be 2-1 to Juventus, and Leon will go through. And I think it'll be 2-2 in the Madrid versus Man City game.
Okay, just because I want Juventus to go through, I'm going to say 2-0 Juventus. And then I'm going to go Man City 2-1.
Question for you. Does it very much so bolster Ronaldo's GOAT status if he can win the Champions League with 3 different clubs?
That's a very good question, but I'll answer that with a question back. Do you see the winners of this season's Champions League as actual their winners? You know, because in other games, like people are talking about the NBA, they're talking about other sports. The Stanley Cup, the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
People are saying, they're not going to be seen as like official champions.
No, I do see them as the official champions. At the end of the day, those players play the games on the pitch, and they're the results. You know what I mean? Regardless whether they're fans in the arena or not, regardless of preparation changing. At the end of the day, the actual physical game of football hasn't changed. I mean, well, they actually had a water break in, so like the players actually should be more hydrated.
Two water breaks.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, whoever wins the Champions League for me is the Champions League winner, and that's it. Although it will be unless they defend their Champions League next year, it'll probably be the shortest in terms of time span reign as Champions League winners.
Yeah.
Because the winner of the Champions League will probably happen in June next year.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy season next season. But to go back to your question, Ronaldo win the Champions League with 3 different teams. Yeah, like it's what people are going to look back on in decades to come, and when they measure up Messi versus Ronaldo, they're going to be like, well, Ronaldo did it with 3 different teams.
Yeah, it's a bit of the Jordan LeBron question, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's just totally the Jordan LeBron question. So like out of these 2 games that are happening on Friday, I would prefer Juventus go through, and I'd actually would like to see Juventus against Ronaldo. Juventus against Real Madrid, but I think it's going to be Man City. You're taking on Juventus, and you think it's going to be Leon against Man City.
Yeah,
that's interesting, man. That's interesting.
Although I'm the king of getting predictions wrong in the football these days.
Yeah, shout out to the Blue Lions losing to the Gooners.
The Gooners. Also, I think I said to you yesterday off camera that Brentford were going to get promoted against Fulham, and they didn't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So shout out to Arsenal for winning the FA Cup as well. Shout out to Fulham for getting promoted.
Hold on, just while you're on that, Basmo, why do they get a trophy for winning the playoffs? That's like the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
I know. It's just for the occasion itself, you know?
Yeah, but like if you finish second in the league, you get nothing. It's like, trophy for being the 3rd best from 3rd to 7th in the league. Well done.
Yeah, well, it is like a mini competition, semi-finals and final as well, if you look at it that way.
Yeah, I just think it's a bit unnecessary.
Yeah, and they've won it twice now in the last 3 years.
Can't win any more than that.
Yeah. If I haven't already said if you are new to the channel, make sure to like and subscribe, because YouTube are not pushing our stuff. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, make sure to subscribe, because I think once Joe Rogan totally moves over in September, I think that's where excuse me. I think that's where we're really going to flourish. Myself and Ross really appreciate all the support as well.
Yeah, don't worry, we're not moving to Texas though.
With Brian Callen or Joe Rogan.
Chris D'Elia.
Yeah. Okay, Ross, Saturday then. Bayern Munich are taking on Chelsea at 8 o'clock and Barcelona are taking on Napoli at 8 o'clock. First question is, what game are you going to be watching?
I think I'll probably try and watch the Barcelona game, just because that game has a bit more to play for. I'm a big fan of Bayern Munich this year. I think they look great, but they're already 3-0 up, so therefore that game's almost dead in the water. Let's be honest, with Pulisic will probably be out. Pedro's gone. Willian was out for the cup final, so he's probably not playing. Was it Aspilicueta also did his hamstring in? I mean, like, that Chelsea team is absolutely depleted, and to ask them to try and claw back 3 goals against Bayern Munich is just not going to happen.
No, if they had won the cup final, you could see them spurring on for that. Excuse the pun.
To be honest, I actually expect Bayern Munich to win that game outright as well, as a whole.
Why is that?
More so because the German football stopped for so long that they'll probably play their first team anyway to get that football back, on the pitch. They want to get their match fitness up, so I could see them playing their full strength team.
Yeah, they are at home as well, Ross.
They are, at the Allianz Arena. So
that's
nice them.
Tell the story about the time we got shown out of the Allianz Arena, for the people that don't know.
Okay, so I'll try and sum it down into 3 minutes. So myself, Barry, and my brother Chris, who, I don't know, if you follow us on Instagram, you've probably seen us with him a few times. We were doing a bit of Euro trip, and we started off in Berlin, then we went to Prague, and then we went to Munich, and we finished off in Amsterdam. But when we were in Munich, we were like, oh, I'd love to see the Allianz Arena. So we all decided we were going to go to the Allianz Arena. It's actually quite a bit outside Munich. It's sort of off in the wilderness by itself.
It'd be like Wembley.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very good comparison. We went to the Allianz Arena. We rocked up. We were like, how do we get home? Well, we'll worry about that later. And then we went up to do a stadium tour. So we were looking around or whatever, went up to the desk and went, how much is the tour? So I'd say it was 20 quid or something at the time. And we were like, right, do you have the tour in English? And they were like, yeah. Next was at 3 o'clock. Now, this was 12 o'clock during the day. And we were like, oh my God, we're not waiting for that long. And we sort of just had a chat amongst ourselves and decided we actually don't really care what they have to say to us. We sort of just want to see the stadium. And we were like, when's the next German tour? And they were like, there's one at 12:30. We're like, perfect, lads, we're going on the German tour. Hope you brought the dictionary. So we went on the German tour and whatever, and an English tour was actually started at the same time. And I'd say we were on the German tour for maybe about 5-10 minutes, and I was like, this is actually shit. I actually am sort of interested in what they have to say. So we actually sort of snuck on to the English tour with our mate Sven. And Sven was like a guy with like long hair, glasses, pair of Asics on, and bootcut jeans. He was quite the geek. So we were on the tour. We were showed the change room. He kept making these terrible jokes. He made one about Philip Lahm being short or something, and that's why the bath wasn't that big. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but I know where you're going, so carry on.
So then, next thing you know, they go, this is where the players walk out into the pitch, right? Yeah. And then they go, so they get us to line up in 2 teams, and they play the Champions League music, and they get us to walk out with the pitch. And like, I actually thought like this was going to be like a moment, Baz, right? Because the sort of canopy was shut, so you couldn't actually get out on the pitch. I thought they were going to like draw back the canopy and you run out on the pitch, and I thought it was going to be like one of the moments of a lifetime where you run out onto the Allianz. Yeah. And they play the Champions League music, you're about to walk out, and he's like, and you don't get to go on the pitch. And we're like, that is fucking shite. Right? And then he sort of brought us around the stadium, and we sort of said to each other, you don't really get close enough to the pitch to, sort of get that moment, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We were never pitch side.
Yeah, we thought doing the tour we'd be allowed to sit in the dugout and stuff.
Yeah. that just never came to fruition whatsoever. You did get to learn cool things about like 1860 and stuff like that doing the tour. So like, I would advise doing it if you're there. Why not? But then your man was sort of like, tour's over. So we were like, none of us were fully satisfied. And I was like, we leg it down onto the pitch. And I was like, we go. What's the worst that can happen? We've already done the tour. So then we leg it down to the pitch, get our photos, and then Sven starts kicking us out and tell us we'd never be allowed back in the Allianz Arena. So if you're ever over in the Allianz Arena, look out for photos of me, Baz, and Chris. We're banned for life. And then we met this brother and sister from Southampton, and they thought we were a serious gas crack on the tour, and then they gave us a lift back into the city. That was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That was a great trip.
We'll have to get over there for a game.
Yeah.
We'll wear disguises.
We got to an 1860 game when they're at home versus Bayern Munich, right?
Yeah.
So, okay,
perfect.
So, after that story, Bayern Munich against Chelsea, 3-0 up, Bayern Munich. What are you going for here, Ross?
I think 2-0 Bayern Munich.
I'll go 3-0. Yeah. Okay. Then Barcelona taking on Napoli, 1-1. Ross, there's serious problems going on in Barcelona right now. I know, like, if you look at Messi's stats, he's still doing brilliantly, as much as people are saying that he's not really. But like, he set the standard so high, it's crazy.
Yeah, he really has. I think he's 25 goals and 22 assists or something this season, in around those stats anyway.
Only.
Yeah, only. But at the end of the day, Barcelona have sort of let themselves slip. They lost a few games that they probably should never have lost, and they almost handed the league over to Real Madrid this year. It's quite rare that Barcelona don't win the league, to be honest. That's sort of like their bread and butter. It's like, we win the league and then Madrid do better in the Champions League.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting, but isn't it also crazy how like when we supported United, you'd win the league so much you just take it for granted, and then
absolutely
you haven't won it. We haven't won it in so long that you're like desperate for it.
I think it's 7 years since we won it, and this will be like the 8th year next year.
Isn't it mad how you can just take things for granted, and then once they're gone, you're like, oh my god, like that was. You should never take things for granted, but like when you're living in the moment, it's just the norm, so you just take it for granted. But Messi is desperate to win the Champions League again, Ross.
Oh, he definitely is. And that Barcelona team is definitely capable of doing it. Suarez is back from injury, which is a massive boost for them. Takes a lot of pressure off Messi on the goals front as well. That young man, Ansu Fati, I don't know if you've seen him. He looks very, very good. Obviously, like, their midfield is still absolutely class. They have Rakitic, they have Busquets, they have Frankie de Jong. You know what I mean? Like, world-class players. Obviously, at the back, they still have Piqué, Semedo on the wing, or on a right back, Umtiti at centre half, Alba left back. Ter Stegen could be the best goalkeeper in the world. You can make an argument from there. You know, I mean, the Barcelona team is absolutely incredible. I didn't even mention Ousmane Dembele or Griezmann, who on their day you can still put in a shift and, you know, perform. So, and those two players are probably looking for transfers out of Barcelona as well. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to put yourself in the shop window and say, "Come get me."
Yeah.
So I really just have to fancy that Barcelona team. Again, Napoli, I don't know if Dries Mertens going to play in this. His contract's up. I don't know if he's available. Hervin Lozano didn't really like spring on from there. They didn't challenge for the league at all this year. I just sort of fancy Barcelona to get the job done here.
Yeah.
Also, with the way lockdown went, I think it favours the Spanish teams over the Italian teams.
I'll go Barcelona 2-0. What about you?
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think that's a good show. Maybe 3-1. I'll say 3-1 just to be different.
Yeah. And sorry, but what did you say for Bayern Munich? 2-0?
2-0, yeah.
Okay. The Champions League will be back on Wednesday. So we'll be doing another football show in the lead up to that. Myself and Ross are very busy this week, so we're just making sure we bang this one out today. So if you are new to the show, make sure to subscribe, and let us know who you think are going to win the fixtures, because we're going into today is Wednesday. The Europa League is back. Ross, I'm just going to shoot through these fixtures because today Shakhtar are taking on Wolfsburg, and that's on us at 5:55. Right now it's actually 4:33. Sorry, and Copenhagen are taking on Istanbul. Ross, what are you expecting from these games? Like just
look, I think Shakhtar, I expect them to win because they're very good at home. And it's in the Ukraine. I'm sure the Ukraine is a nice place to have to travel to for Wolfsburg.
Yeah,
and
Shakhtar lead 2-1.
Yeah, I expect them to get another 1-0 victory here. And then in the other game, I expect a draw between Copenhagen and Istanbul. I think that Istanbul team won the Turkish League this year. They have a few players. I think Demba Ba's at them, isn't he? I remember we looked at the team the last day and we were like, I know 3 or 4 of their players, therefore I think they will win. Yeah. So I'm going for Istanbul.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I'm going to go Shakhtar to go through and Istanbul to go through. Then at 8 o'clock, United are taking on Lask, and Inter Milan and taking on Getafe. Man United going to this game 5-0 up, and Inter Milan are just playing Getafe straight off.
Yeah, I expect Manchester United to win again. They are at home. Their youngsters will be out. But at the end of the day, it's for these players who are playing tonight to try and get into the team for next week's fixtures. And then in terms of Inter Getafe, Inter seem to be on very hot form at the moment. All their Premier League rejects seem to be doing the absolute business for them. So I'm going to pick Inter Milan to beat Getafe as well, 2-1.
Yeah, I'm going to go United to win and Inter to win. Then Thursday at 5:55, Bayer Leverkusen are taking on Rangers. Leverkusen lead this draw 3-1.
I expect Leverkusen to win again. I think just the standard of German football is just far better than the standards of Scottish football. Celtic not lose like 8-0 or something to PSG there recently.
Yeah,
I think so.
I'm not too sure. I don't really follow the Scottish League, to be honest, Ross. You know,
I think it was just a friendly now, but I think PSG like absolutely hammered Celtic there recently. So that's sort of my thought basis there. The other game is a single leg fixture: Sevilla versus Roma.
Yeah.
This
is probably the tie of the round.
It is. This is the hardest one to call. I'm going to go for Roma on this occasion. Sevilla are like the king of Europa Leagues, but that team seems to be firing at the moment for Roma. So I'm going to go for them. They seem to be having a bit of success at the tail end towards the Serie A.
I'm going to go for Sevilla on that one, Ross, just because they're at home. Then at 8 o'clock, there's 2 games as well. Basel taking on Frankfurt.
Basel, there's no one at home that game. That game's played in Germany. The single legs are played in Germany.
Oh, that's definitely happening, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go Sevilla. Then Basel are playing in Frankfurt. Basel lead that like 3-0. And Wolves play Olympiacos. That's 1-1. Basel versus Frankfurt first, Ross.
To be honest, Frankfurt were never going to be good after they sold Jovetic and Haller. If you think about that strike force last year, like Frankfurt were a force to be reckoned with, but they don't have anyone to score the goals, hence they're 3-0 down. So I don't think they'll turn that around. Whether they lose or not, I'm not too sure, but I'm just going to say Basel anyway. They're at home.
Yeah,
and in terms of Wolves versus Olympiacos knocked out Arsenal. People probably forget that. They'd be a tough side to play against, but I do fancy Wolves to maybe win 2-1. And just Adama Traore, Jimenez, and Nato and Jota seem to be firing on all cylinders at the moment.
I go Wolves as well. So Ross, to wrap things up, Champions League, who do you think is going to win it, right? And then who's your dark horses to win it?
Who do I think is going to win it? I favour Bayern Munich to win the Champions League.
And dark horses?
Well, I think sort of from the other side of the draw, I sort of say Atletico Madrid, but I don't think they're really a dark horse. So if I have to pick a dark horse,
but it's hard to really call a dark horse in the Champions League because like everyone's so good.
Yeah, if I had to say a dark horse, I would say maybe Lyon.
Okay, I'm gonna go to win it, PSG, and then dark horse.
I think in the dark horse, you can only really have Leipzig, Napoli, Atalanta, or Lyon. Like they're the only 4 teams you consider dark horse. Anyone else who wins, it's like one of the best teams in the world.
Well, technically Chelsea because of 3-0 down.
Oh, Chelsea as well.
Okay, so all right, I'm just gonna go PSG to win it. But yeah, I can't really call
You can't really say Chelsea after you said they were going to lose like 3 or 4-0.
Dark horse, Real Madrid, because they're losing 2-1. Yeah, so you're sticking to your guns with Bayern to win it, and I'm going with PSG. Then Ross, Europa League. Who do you think is going to win it, and who's your dark horse?
Who do I think is going to win it? I actually fancy Inter Milan to win the whole thing this year. To be honest, I think they're riding a bit of hot streak at the moment. And my dark horse to win the Europa League this year, I would say, I don't know if you can say it, but are Leverkusen the dark horse?
Well, they're winning 3-1 against Rangers.
Well, I'm more meant for the rest. Okay, well then I say Wolves then.
That's what I was going to ask, because Wolves are my dark horse to win it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they play great football, and they can beat anyone on their day. So, I was going to say them, but it's hard to really know who's the dark horse in this tournament as well, because they're all sort of, there's about 5 or 6 teams slightly higher standard, and then the rest of them are all sort of a good bit lower standard.
Yeah, I'm going to go with winners, Man U. I just think it's going to be in the United are almost guaranteed to get to the semi-final. So, but that's the whole thing. You put your foot out there, and
who's your dark horse? Wolves.
Wolves. That's where the dark horse question came from. Because I'm a big fan of Wolves. The way they play football is beautiful, and it's very it suits Europe so good. So that's why they, at the moment, they're not even qualified for Europe next year.
And they're so unoffensive as well. As in, like, I think everyone just likes them. No one's like fuck Wolves.
Yeah, and especially like having Matt Doherty at right back, it's cool to see an Irish player flying the flag in Europe.
Absolutely.
But Ross, that's what wraps up the show.
I think so.
Yeah, we're going to be back next week again to look ahead to the next the quarterfinals. Is there anything else you want to say about that? That wraps up the Champions League and Europa League for the week.
No, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and always stay energized.